We collided with Collision. They're batting 500 so far with 2 winners of a main event.
You know what? I like the energy for the Punk match. I know it's not perfect. In a perfect world, he wouldn't have his reputation and whatever value to AEW diminished however much it's been diminished by, can't even call it a whisper campaign anymore, the campaign to destroy him. But the John Cena-esque reaction,
yeah,
I like that. And I think the one thing John Cena showed is it doesn't drive people away. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm sure his merch will be great still. And you're going to get this kind of weird reaction in certain towns. With
Cena, you weren't dealing with a subset of a niche audience. You were dealing with what was still if the WWE audience is 3 times now what AEW's was, during Cena's heyday 15 years ago, it was 3 times what WWE's audience is now. That was a lot of people, and there was plenty to go around. The people that liked him, the people that didn't like him. Kids would buy his shit, grown men would boo him, whatever. It was great reaction, but it didn't hurt business. But when you're talking about a much smaller group of people that are AEW followers, you've got your base audience that likes the trampoline cowboys. You've got some significant portion of other people that just like to watch all kinds of wrestling. And then you've got the, couple 100,000 or however many it is that Punk brings because they were wrestling fans and they'll follow Punk, but they haven't been particularly paying that much attention to what's going on these days since he was gone. And you can't really afford to run any of those off. Now, it's not bad for Punk besides his reputation being slandered by these nimrods. He still gets the same amount of money. He's on contract. And as we said, now he's the hottest guy on both sides of the roster. He's going to get more reaction, positively or negatively, than anybody else on the card. But again, if I was Tony Khan, I would run these fucking vice presidents over with a car. That they worked this hard and this long and right under my nose without me having the balls to do anything about it, to poison people from spending money on or wanting to see or pay attention to the biggest star that Tony Khan has in his company because of jealousy. And I can't believe he doesn't take a stick to these motherfuckers.
Not just the EVPs.
No, all of their associated friends and
well, beyond that, Jericho. We heard about some of the things Jericho said.
Well, I put Jericho in that friend and hanger-on camp now because hello, fellow kids. He wants to be with the fucking. The problem is now, Jericho wants to be with the young kids. Well, the young kids 40 years ago were the ones in wrestling doing all the fucking drinking and drugs and partying and carousing and getting in trouble and kicked out of hotels, all the shit that Jericho's doing now when he's 60. And the kids that are 20 now, they're playing video games and diddling themselves in their hotel room because they don't want to get outed for actually going out and trying to get laid. So that's some kind of goddamn time warp there with old Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, they want to go play video games, and meanwhile, Dr. Roxo's getting kicked out of the hotel.
Hey, Derek. But anyway, so, yeah, when you were going to make a thought about it, I can't believe Tony hadn't taken a stick to these people for costing him money.
I was just going to say, in terms of the slander of CM Punk, it wasn't just the Young Bucks and their friends. Don't forget there were other people in the company who saw Punk as a threat for one reason or another. But